out there in the internet lands. My name is Jaimelyn Gray, and this is You've Got a Thing, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. Thank you so much for taking some time with me today to talk about some things that are going on, and I hope you can get out and see and get some good theatrical catharsis and enjoy yourself and all the things. Today it's the week of Thursday, March 5th is where we're at this week. And we've got a great interview for you today. Jill Anna Ponasik of Milwaukee Opera Theatre is here. Well, is in the interview portion of this podcast anyway. That we talk about Camille's Rainbow, which is their current offering over there at Milwaukee Opera Theatre, as MOT, as we lovingly call it. And so we'll get to that in just a minute. Haven't talked to her on this program for quite a bit, so because she's normally just so busy. And I'm thrilled to talk to her today. It was very nice to talk to her. So we'll get to that in just a second. But first, I want to get into the goings on that are happening outside of Camille's Rainbow. Because Camille's Rainbow, we didn't even talk about that in the interview. That's so funny. That's opening March 19th, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the 19th through the 23rd. I can actually check the website real quick to make sure that I'm giving you the correct intel. They're bringing it back from last year, which is very exciting, and we'll talk more about that. And yes, it's the 19th through the 23rd of this month, and so month of March 2026, and we'll get you in there for that. So that's what we'll be talking about in a second. Braining. And so, okay, great. So, but let's talk about a few other things that we have outside of that interview. And so first of all, getting real close here. We're at closing weekend for Swing State by Rebecca Gilman over at Next Act Theater. That is closing this Sunday. So if you haven't gotten your butt in there, now is the time to do it. And I'm talking to myself there. I think I might try and get there tonight is what I'm going to try to do. This is you can go to nextact.org to find out more information about that. Really great show. Rebecca Gilman is a wonderful playwright. If you have not read her stuff, you should go and do that, or you can also go and see Swing State over at Next Act. And it takes place in rural Wisconsin, and Peg, who is recently widowed, tends to native plants in her 40-acre rural prairie backyard. And then her days are interrupted only by visits from a family friend named Ryan. Got a bit of a checkered past. And then when a mysterious theft alerts authorities, a string of events unfolds that will forever change their lives and community. It's Rebecca Gilman's Pulitzer Prize finalist, and sort of about how we help each other out and things when our way of life is disappearing. So again, that's closing this weekend over at Next Act. And so get your butts in there, plan your calendars accordingly. Part of the mission of this show is so that you can schedule your things, maybe see a couple of shows in one weekend, particularly when you have last chances like this. And that's what we're here for. So go and get yourself in there, and there you go. So next, then we have We Are the Drum. The public shows are coming up this weekend. We had Capita Productions on the podcast a few weeks back. Really great interview to check out if you can make that happen. Go back in the YouTube or the Facebook or on any of your favorite podcast platforms to do that. But this is CAPITA stands for City at Peace in the Arts. It's a theater company that showcases the African American journey from Africa to America. And they do that through, music and performance. And it's really a showcase of talent. We Are the Drum is, and they do it every year. And it's kind of their main event. They do shows at schools, and then they do these public performances. So you should really try and get in there to see their work. CapitaProductions.com to get your tickets for that one. And just a wonderful community of artists. They do a lot of work with new artists, like people who even just have that inkling to, I think I'd like to try something. Capita is one of the places in Milwaukee that you can go to try and express your talent and express yourself, your talented self. And it's really about just experiencing the power of live theater to, move and inspire you is really what Capita is all about. And so again, go to capitaproductions.com to see all these wonderful artists perform. Get your tickets over there, and I hope you can make it. Then next we have the Spitfire Grill. This just opened recently. We had Mr. Michael Unger on the show last week. I don't know, the weeks are sort of blurring for me, so I think that was last week. And Spitfire Grill, this is its 25th anniversary production, the 25th anniversary production on the Cabot stage. This also takes place in Wisconsin. We've got a bunch of Wisconsin-centric productions right now, which is great and awesome and fantastic. Love to put the focus on this state in all its glory. And so this is going to go through March 15th. The music and book is by James Valk, who is a local artist person, floats between here and Door County. And I was actually in he also wrote Zombies from the Beyond, which was one of my favorite experiences in college there at UW Oshkosh. And I played Charlie. If you know that show, you can pretty much, and you know me, you can pretty much figure out why. And but he's directing this and wrote the music and the book. And Michael Unger and I had a really great conversation last week about this production. Just a really great show about community and fresh starts and human connection and all those wonderful things. And it's really great that James Valk is directing his own show. And you can go to smtmke.org or Skylight Music Theatre, like a TRE.org, skylightmusictheater.org, to get your tickets. And go back and watch the interview or listen to the interview in a podcast form and get all the insides that you can, and just to make your experience a little bit more robust, just a little bit more. And we like that. That's what I'm here for. And so the Spitfire Grill, a musical. And then after, and we talked about this in the interview too that we did. You go and watch this musical, then go watch the movie that it's based on. That's the good plan. So do that. Okay, again, smtmke.org for that. And then lastly, but not leastly, never leastly, we've got the good folks over there at Interchange Theater, TER.com, Interchange Theater Co-op. Every weekend, these artists are out there doing their thing, doing their improv thing. They've got the student showcase this weekend. They've been doing this sort of all week. But March 6th at 7:30 p.m., you can go and see the level 3 and level 5 graduates are ready to show off all they've learned and put on a great show for you. And it's free. Bless me. And it's free. So you can go and see that. There are no tickets required, and see all that the level 3 and level 5 graduates have learned. Interchangetheater.com for more information about doors opening and all that kind of stuff. And then on March 7th at 7:30 p.m., you've got their commando troop. It says, what lies underneath? Let's find out. Personal stories become improv fun as Commando performs the improv style of an Armando, a true story-based improv show. True story-based improv show. Interesting. March 7th at 7:30 p.m. And then I think they are opened by Sprocket, which the description is, life can take you to weird, interesting, and even beautiful places, but it's comfortable. You can always return home. That sounds like a mystery. Interchangetheater.com to find your tickets and door times and things for that. The folks over there at Interchange Theater Co-op are a good group of improv, a good group of men and artists and women and persons to fill your improv needs, because I think everybody does have improv needs. It's a great art form and very enjoyable to watch. So get your butts in there at Interchange Theater Co-op, and that's what we got for this coming weekend, for things that you can get out there and see in the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance region. And that's that. So let's switch gears here and get to that interview with Jill Anna Ponasik of Milwaukee Opera Theatre here in Milwaukee, and just got some brains on that one. So let's peek inside that head of hers and see what's going on with Camille's Rainbow. Well, here we are with the most amazingest operatic human on the planet, Jill Anna Ponasik of Milwaukee Opera Theatre, artistic director extraordinaire, is with us today.
You're making me blush.
I'm not, though. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Yeah, so it's nice to have you on here again. You have not been on here in a hot minute, and for people who, like, this is the first time that you're ever, watching or listening to this program, wherever you're at, Jill Anna and I started this thing back in the pandemic region.
Yeah.
When we were all scrambling to find things to fill our lives and get the word out about theater companies and art things going on, like, hey, we're still happening. We're still alive.
Scrambling to try and connect people, because it was like that mega silo period of distancing.
Yeah,
so it's
it was.
Let's use any tool possible to try and just keep connections going.
Yeah. And so that's what we did. And
you're still doing it. And you have run with it.
I'm such a, I don't know, sucker for punishment. There's something like, I don't know, because at first, when we first started this, we were like swapping hosts and things like that, which just became particularly when we started moving out of pandemic, it became a real struggle to find persons and coordinate the things. And so I just went, you know what? I'm going to manage this beast all by myself, and we're going to solo it out. Yeah.
I noticed for myself that I really don't belong on screen. So I
don't know, in the humanity of it all, if any of us really belong on screen. I'd argue it's a nope, not gonna say that. I changed my mind. So aside from our history, can you talk a little bit about yourself and like your artistic journey and how you ended up at Milwaukee Opera Theater?
I was not prepared for that question today, so thank you, Jaimelyn. I ended up at Milwaukee Opera Theater by accident. My
Nice.
Yeah, if we go way back and speed through my life, I,
Yeah.
as a kid, I loved doing all art, singing, dancing, making up poems, playing outside. Like I did everything. And then was kind of encouraged to focus and then focus some more and then focus some more. So like it got narrower and narrower as we went through high school, then college, then grad school, etc., to focusing on music and then on singing and then on opera. And so, yep, yeah, it was like that.
Really?
It was going like this. And I did performing in music theater, always resisting the narrowing, which was a constant frustration for me. Like I was always trying to do more than teachers were nudging me to do.
Yeah.
And then when I stumbled into volunteering at Milwaukee Opera Theater after we kind of moved to Milwaukee in 2009 by surprise, I found that working on the other side, the offstage side of things, and working on the planning and the systemic aspect of it, of like directing a production or directing a company, that I was like more fully engaged than I ever was as a singing artist who was just responsible for that role in that production and that little piece of the mosaic. So it kind of like I landed at MOT by accident, but had really wonderful access to mentors who ran organizations and were very transparent about their processes and sort of taught me on the go. And I just kept puttering at it. And now 18 years have gone by.
Just like that.
And I'm like, what the heck?
And so but how many years does MOT have in total?
MOT did its first production in 1998. And then
wow.
before me. And then they incorporated in 2000, and we're more of at that time, this is so boring. At that time,
No, it's not.
there were not as many young artist programs for opera companies. So there's been a really big expansion in the United States in this in-between land where you finish school and then you basically apprentice at an opera company or multiple opera companies throughout your 20s. Like it is a long period of doing young artist programs. And that
you're not ready to actually perform until your 30s.
Yeah, it's a little, it's a system that was developed to meet a specific need. And it's going strong. At the time that MOT was founded, those were just beginning to gain popularity. And there was this like gap where it was really hard to find work between school and professional life. So MOT was founded by a soprano who was like specifically trying to create resume building opportunities for others during that vulnerable period right after school. And so it was sort of for years, it was functioning almost like a young artist program.
Super cool.
Yeah, very cool. But then once I started, I couldn't help thinking differently about long-term community engagement, I might say, or just community involvement, like taking care of artists throughout their entire careers, if we can, as opposed to focusing on a specific chapter.
Yeah.
So MOT shifted considerably as the people who were working at the organization, created a new shared vision of what the company might chase, what curiosity we might chase as artists.
Right.
So we still foster we still take that emerging artist aspect very seriously. Like, we're very intentional about platforming young people and providing them with opportunities for growth and development, but we're also mindful of sustaining long careers for
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. And I see that in perform I personally have witnessed that in performances at Milwaukee Opera Theater, that wide range of
Yeah.
youth. And I think it's
We've done a
great.
lot of like multi-generational,
Yeah.
three generations in one production. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I think that's awesome to witness. And it's just lovely to see that sort of intentionality in practice. Yeah. So you are in the what is this technically, what season is this?
Season 17 for me.
Okay, so we're technically in season 17 right now. And
I'm a teenager.
who are the worst?
Yeah.
Teenagers are the worst. And what is comprising this season, this time around?
We're in a period of like gentle renewal, maybe. It sounds really dorky. For MOT, this season started with our first collaboration with the University of Milwaukee's theater department, where we developed with the students, in collaboration with the students, a new adaptation of HMS Pinafore. So it was like developed through their fall semester, and the students were developing lyrics with us, developing the concept with us. You know, it was really like all hand developing the new orchestration. And so that kicked off our season. And gosh, I have to look behind me.
Yeah. Because you do everything all the time.
It's confusing because then, then the next MOT project was a reading of a new musical about Milwaukee artist Mary Knoll with Mary Fuller and Josh Schmidt, called Maybe We'll Fly. So we finished that in January, and now the baby opera, which we're bringing back from last year, and then we'll end the season formally with a concert presentation of Follies, so it's 4 very different pieces.
Yeah, really
pretty typical.
Yeah, really wide ranging, which is great to just see that spectrum. But today we're gonna shift gears and talk about Camille's Rainbow, an opera for babies, because it was so successful last year. You decided to bring it back this year, is the gist that I'm getting.
Yeah, for sure. It was so. This sounds really dumb, but I almost wouldn't use the word successful. It was successful, of course, or we wouldn't be bringing it back. But but it was like a specific feeling that was so clear from the team of like,
yeah,
we don't want to stop doing this.
Yeah. Well, you can have both though, right? Like it can be successful and it can also be fulfilling, right? Like it doesn't have to be one or the other, right?
You know, when that does line up, it's really nice.
It's really nice. Yeah.
So we right away, I mean, like there was no pause. It was just like, as we were wrapping up that run and people had to return to jobs, we had to give up the venue. Do you know what I mean? Like we couldn't extend. So it was, as we were wrapping up that run, we were already setting dates for next year to make sure that everybody could come back. So it's the exact same team as last year, stepping into the exact same roles, because which is sweet. And everyone is so excited. It's just so nice. We don't talk about this aspect of theater making, but people are so excited to see each other again. They're excited for first rehearsal. They're excited to return to their roles. You know, like the meaning for the artists involved, and not just the babies and their families. Like
But so what is the main story behind the project that everybody is just so gaga over?
It's all. Is it okay if I tell you the story of like what seeing Camille's Rainbow is like, because I think that that answers the question
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
So no one knew, we knew this piece that was written by artist educators at Carnegie Hall for their education wing. So the piece, like, it existed, it was done, it was made. And our challenge was like, how do we present it and share it in Milwaukee? And what are the considerations that you have to be mindful of if you're doing a piece for an audience we don't know yet, right? Like, we have no connection to an audience of people who have been recently born. So
The baby audience. Yeah.
the baby audience, that's it. We're tapping into a literally new audience.
Yeah. Because, you know, really, there's not a lot of work out there that it's intentional. Like, you have lots of baby products.
Yes.
I'm not sure I have really come across a lot of baby theater in what we think of as theater. Yeah.
Yeah, it's emerging. There are maybe dozens, maybe 20s of pieces percolating around out there that companies are starting to experiment with. But by no means is it wide.
Yeah.
You know, the net is not wide yet, but it's exciting territory. So it is an opera for babies, but opera, as it often is at Milwaukee Opera Theatre, is interpreted a little bit differently here. So we rented this office suite. It's an empty office space because the venue it relies on projection, so it has to be neutral, like a very quiet space where there are no distractions, or as limited as they could be. It has to be safe. So like, every theater is out.
Blow tape does not work on babies.
Blow tape is not going to be good. The floor has to be clean and comfortable.
And the eating of the floor. Yeah.
All of it, right? So it's like, so you have to do a completely different, like, the things that we're usually looking for when we search for venues don't apply. It's completely different. So we found this office suite that's carpeted and the walls are painted beige. It's super boring and perfect for this project. And there's like stroller parking when you come in, because that's a thing. Like, you have to, because you got all your baby products with your baby and you have to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
And we created we called it the Pillow Fort Lounge, so that it was like one of the things that's unique about Camille's Rainbow is it is all made of transitions. So it's not like house lights down, the show starts, but it leads the young people and their caretakers like into the piece. So the Pillow Fort is like low lit and full of soft things, and you can kind of play, but it's not excited play. Like, it's sort of soft, quiet play with scarves and soft balls and some books to read and things like that. And then tactile things. And then you're kind of, the performance space is just over there. You can see it, but you don't go there yet. So then the harp starts to play when it's time for the children to come into the performance area to sit around the circle rug.
And do you have a live harpist, or is it recorded?
Yeah, no, it's live. It's so important.
Holy cats.
Yeah, it's live. And that is one of the moments, like, the children are used to playing in pillow forts, so they're all just chilling. And then the harp just starts to play, and like all the little heads go like, like, it's great. And they just start to move toward the sound. Like, the babies just start to crawl toward the harp, and then the performers sprinkle through that space, and they just quietly sing hello in like 12 different languages. So, and with babbling, and so the performers are like actually kind of speaking baby through the piece, as well as English and Spanish and French and like bits and pieces of other languages. But a lot of the libretto is syllables like yo, 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 or roo, 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 or things that the way that we start to learn language, the sounds the babies make. So the babies just like, they get it. you know, they're like, we're talking. And so the performers just like gather, there's a projection in the middle, and the artist playing Camille is pretending to be asleep on the circle. And that's also very theatrically interesting because like the young children are curious about that. Like as they crawl in, they're like, there have been little children who like the artist is ready for it, but they poke her or they pat
Oh
her.
my
You
gosh.
know, so it's this sort of like, are you okay? Some are worried, you know, like, are you okay? You know? So it just
Because
brings
what's the range of age that you're dealing with?
specifically like there's a target of 0 to 3 where
Okay.
it's like really nestled in their developmental stage. But
Okay.
children 4, 5, 6, 7 like also enjoy it, and adults enjoy it because it's a beautiful piece. But like developmentally, it's really looking at that beginning of language acquisition, coordinating different muscle groups, exploring, using all of your senses. Like it's you know, focused on 0 to 3.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the show starts. So Camille begins to wake up, and Camille is all white, dressed in white, and there are black and white projections around her, and she realizes that her colors are missing. And she sings a
Oh
sad,
no.
yeah, so her face is, a lot of it is just like her face is sad, and she's puzzled, and she doesn't know what to do. And then she sees yellow over at a little island. And then so she basically, the story is that one by one, she finds her colors. The colors, there's color theory worked into it.
Of course there is.
Yeah. So the colors mix. They like yellow and red do a dance in the middle of the circle, and then the projections turn orange, you know, like yep, it's got these little moments of surprise and wonder. And then the colors do an improv machine, like physical machine, and they make a rainbow. And then the projections go all rainbow, and everybody, the whole team sings. So each color has a solo song. They sing in ensemble. It's just singers and harp. They're singing in like the babbling range. So they're not singing like super high or super low. So they're intentionally like singing in a range where a baby could babble along with them if they felt like mimicking it, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Um,
Yeah.
and also it's not shocking to their ears to like, you know, hit a high C. So the babies are like rolling with the show, and then they improv with the children in between each of the songs. So there are little moments where they might play with the children who are right next to them. So there might be like 5 little moments of playing. There's not like one central story, but it's like each color is just entertaining or playing with the children around them. And then we pull their focus back to the center. And then it doesn't end with applause or anything. Like it ends with a moment of all the colors together, so you feel like it's the end. And the harp does a brink, you know, like a glissando
Yeah.
that signals that it's the end. But it's not like there's no curtain call or applause or anything sudden like that. We just dump out a big laundry basket full of balls, and the performers, Aaron starts a different song on the harp, and the performers start to sing and play, and there's just like 15 minutes of just free, relaxed playing and chatting as sort of like this decompression moment. And
Yeah.
that's some of the people's favorite moments, are that like actually not the show itself, but like after the children have been through the show, then you're just playing catch for a little while, and parents are talking, and it's just really sweet. And then gradually people wander off, and the performers wander into their green room to have a snack and get ready for the next show. And so it doesn't have edges. Like
Yeah. It sounds very comfortable.
yeah, it is. That was something that was important to us as parent, especially if you're a parent of a spicy kid,
Uh-huh.
you know how scary it is to think
Yeah.
about taking them to something.
Yeah.
So that worked really well last year, that there were some children, the space is large and open. So children could be in the circle, right? Like there were kids who were in the show and they stayed in the show the whole time, like in there. They could be outside the circle watching, if they felt like that. They could be past the audience, like in the dimmer rings. Like we don't go to black or anything. You can always, the room goes dark and quiet, but you can see the walls, you can see the windows, like, because we're always we want children to have that sense of safety, of like knowing where they are in space.
Yeah.
But you can go to like a dimly lit empty area, or you could go back to the pillow fort and like still hear the show. If there are all these spaces, or if you really need a break, like you can go into the office lobby if you need to make noise. Do you know what I mean? So it's like there are these, like, I would call them like decompression areas, where if your child needs something, you could take them in steps to different if they're getting a little freaked out, like it feels a little intense or overwhelming, you can step back 8 feet and hold them and then see if they want to go back in. Or so that was like super important to us, because we've been there.
Yeah. Yeah. Parents have been there. Yeah.
And that was a lot of the questions we had last year, were like, well, does my child have to sit there and be quiet? Like,
Yeah.
like, no, it's okay. The performers are all, as stage director, number one stage direction is don't step on a baby. So that's like, just keep that front of mind all the time.
Have an
And
awareness about the babies. Yeah.
yeah. And then once you know you're not stepping on a baby, if you can also do this, like
You could also sing your song.
you can sing your song and engage in this way. But first, because they are allowed, they are encouraged and allowed to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does that kind of answer your question? That's why we're doing
Yeah. No, that's I get
it's
it.
like a really new experience for us, because it's not just another show, right? Like it's this whole new way to engage audiences, and that appeals to me as a restless experimenter.
Yeah.
To sort of play around with, like, what does the beginning of a show feel like? Does it have to be house to half and then a curtain speech? Like,
God, I hate curtain speeches. Just throwing that out there.
yeah.
Yeah. But it just for me, it sounds like so much to manage. It sounds like
It
just
is.
like
Yeah.
my brain is like exploding in crisis mode of all the things that could potentially happen in that space. You've made so much happen for them, just in terms of trying to think of all the things that need to be there to create this comfortable space.
Yeah, it's so one of the things that's been, this goes back to like your earlier questions about like what's the point of MOT, or what am I doing with my life? There
Which
was
is what all of us artists
all the
ask
time,
every day. What am I doing with my life?
why, right? The why. It has to be worth, the project has to be worth the agony of producing it, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
all of the emails
yeah.
and all of the phone calls and all of the fundraising and all of the everything. The We were able to pull together a team that is so comfortable in this environment. So the 3 MOT staff members have all taught early childhood music, so have a comfort with being a teacher in a classroom of 16 babies. And so there's a common language, and also a genuine interest, right? Like a genuine interest in the moment that music the moments that music gets acquired in our lives. So so we had that. And then in the cast, there are 4 singers, the primary colors and Camille, and then the harpist. And 2 of the cast members have young children of their own and are singer actors. And the other 2 have a lot of experience working with very young children and teaching, and are enthusiastic about it. So like the performers themselves are singer actors, but they're also very, very comfortable in spaces with very young children, and passionate in their own ways. And then also this, I know that you and I share this as parent artists, but one of the things that was exciting was for singers with young children to be able to provide work in a space that didn't require many evenings at all, or if it did require an evening, you could bring your child, and it was actually useful. Like we had a rehearsal all the time last year, and then we could try and create a job that worked with parenthood instead of against parenthood, which is kind of an impossible thing, but we tried to make it as easy as.
As a matter of fact, yeah. The struggle is real for trying to be a parent and performance artist at the same time.
Yeah.
In this world. Yeah.
It's huge. But we delighted in having a 6-month-old at rehearsals, and also we did the show quite a few times for one baby.
and the one baby was grateful and excited every time.
And we're excited to have him back, and his mom is scared about him walking. And
of course.
Yeah. Because she's like, oh boy.
Because that's what people do. They just grow.
Just keep going.
Yeah. So the baby's 18 months now. Yeah. Is that funsies? Oh, good. Well, this sounds like just a wonderful experience. Just a wonderful theatrical moment to spend time in. That sounds fantastic. So if people want to get tickets, I mean, it's highly recommended for babies and the caregivers. Like that's mostly who this is for. Yeah, like
sure. I didn't mention this. So there are a row of seats around the circle. So if someone is individually, adults can come. It's okay. If you're curious, you can come. You don't need a baby to get in.
You don't need a baby to enter the circle.
Yeah. Everyone is welcome.
No baby, no circle.
No baby. You got to get one somehow.
Just take one off the street. They're available.
So each performance, we had a few people who, and we, just a warning that if you're an adult attending alone, we might ask you to hold the parachute with us for the parachute scene, because we need grown-up hands.
Extra hands, yeah.
We always need some extra hands. But yeah, target audience is littles and their caregivers.
Yeah. So if you want to grab those tickets, you're going to go to Milwaukee Opera Theatre, and that's a TRE.org. That's a theatre.org, and their new fancy website.
Thanks to you.
That I love so much. And get your tickets over there, and then come back for the Follies after.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When is that? When is Follies? Is that
It's
April,
one
May?
night only, April 29th. We're just doing it.
Wow. Really? You do that on our bug opening night?
Is it Wednesday?
Yeah. No, April 29th. Oh, we're the 26th. I always get those 6 and 9s mixed up. You're like, really? A Wednesday?
I was like, what the?
No.
I know. Okay.
I thought it was Saturday. I thought the 29th was Saturday.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's an interesting choice to do a one night only on a Wednesday.
Where's
that at?
It's
Yeah,
at,
where's
it's at Prairie Springs on Park, which is a new-ish event venue attached to the Urban Ecology Center in
oh wow.
Riverside Park.
Oh,
So
you
yes,
and your own
it's
space.
new for us, but that is one of the ways that we have found we can sometimes work our way into an event venue is by landing on a night that is not typically utilized.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, that's struggle is real.
Yep.
And so that'll be Wednesday at the end of April. Are you going to
Yep.
come back and talk to us about that?
If you want, sure. I'd love to.
I would love to talk about.
It's going to be so different than Camille's Rainbow.
I love that though. I love those hard swings.
It's a hard swing.
I love the bed and breakfast of the damned to Bug. I like, you know, or even Deadly Holiday to Bug. I told people who came to Deadly Holiday, I'm like, come back for Bug. It's not this.
Yeah. I can't wait.
I love the hard swing. Yeah. So go to MilwaukeeOperaTheatre.org to get your tickets for those things.
All the things. Go see all the shows.
And then Jill Anna will come back and talk to us about the one night only event sometime in April. Yeah, we'll find a spot for you.
Fabulous. Thank you, Jaimelyn. Thanks for everything you do.
Can't stop, won't stop. All right, you. Thank you for. I know how busy you are, so thank you so much for the 30 minutes today, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, that's it. That's Jill Anna Ponasik of Milwaukee Opera Theatre. A real superhuman. Does a lot for the greater community on the whole. We're both part of the small arts and culture cohort of Milwaukee, which is a cohort of 11 organizations that are trying to change funding models in Milwaukee. I think I've got some space on the calendar. I should really make a conversation happen about SMAC again, to talk about what that's about. Maybe get Jill Anna, maybe get Katie Cummings, maybe get somebody, Megan McGee, somebody on the calendar to talk about the small arts and culture cohort, because I blip about it occasionally in this program about the challenges of fundraising for the arts in Wisconsin. We consistently rank 49th or 50th in state arts funding. That's the amount of money, per person, per capita, how much we spend, and we're something like 20 cents. It's gross, frankly, for all that art brings to people's lives. It's really gross, the amount of money that we spend making art happen as a value for communities. I believe that that theater is a public good, art is a public good, and should be treated as such. And so I'm going to look at my calendar in a minute. But I do have Milwaukee Chamber Theater on my schedule for next week to talk about Is This a Room, which is a great. They've reconfigured the stage in the Broadway Theater Studio to do more of an alley setup. I saw that blip through the Book of Face, and so I'd love to have somebody come and talk about that. I'd love to get Brent on this program. Brent, where are you? Brent Hazelton, artistic director of Milwaukee Chamber Theater, to talk about the things happening over there. And so to get somebody to, it's a show about Reality Winner, the whistleblower, and the ins and outs of that whole debacle with the U.S. government, and love to hear more about it. And I think you should love to hear about it too. So we'll talk about that next week. Hopefully, get somebody in here to talk about that, and that's it. that's what I got for this week. And so I thank you. I thank you kindly for joining us, me, Jill Anna, the community on the whole here today on You've Got a Thing. And I hope to see you next week. And until then, I hope you can hold it together in the chaos that surrounds us all. Get yourself into some theater and really get some catharsis, and you'll feel better. I promise. Go and see some theater and you'll come out feeling better on the other end. So there you go. So thank you so much again, and we'll see you next week on You've Got a Thing. I'll get a theme song someday. Okay, bye.